Okay.
So as we are now, so industry are dying and some are dead, even though they don't look like it on the surface anymore. But they are dead or they are dying. And some other industry are just being battered. So the best way to make money now and in the future is to go with the industry that are just getting battered.
Okay.
And that's what some of these people saw when they invested in Tesla and the likes. So Tesla is in the electric vehicle industry. Around that industry alone, we have few other dependent industry, like the mining industry is electric vehicle is dependent on battery. Battery is dependent on some things that the mining industry provides. So you can see how some of those things are dependent now. So electric vehicle have their strength from batteries.
Yes.
So if you have a company, a firm that has a cutting edge technology for their battery, then we know that the price we saw because there will be demand for it.
Exactly.
Now there are three raw materials for battery, chemicals for battery. Now Tesla is producing one by itself. They are reducing the other by itself. Now they are reducing the content of the second one. The third one, which is nickel, they cannot produce and they cannot reduce it, so they have to just buy it. And in one of Tesla's call, customer relation call, Elon Musk himself was saying it jokingly that if there's any company that is mining nickel out there, they should do it well because they will buy it. They will buy all their nickel out. I mean, like they need it as much as anybody needs oxygen. That statement alone made the price of the stocks of mining companies go up by 10-20% in the market the next day.
Wow, just by the statement.
Yes, because he's the industry leader, and then whatever he says, people just ride it. But then that is not the kind of profit we are looking at anyway. We are looking at sustainable growth.
Yes.
But some of them already dropped on that profit already. The way they went up, some of them came down because most of them have environmental issue. The one in Brazil is currently being shut down because of protests and all of that. Almost all major mining companies in the world have issue with environmental pollution here and there, lawsuit here and there with them.
Yes.
So all of those background check, those are the hard work when it comes to, it's not just enough to say, okay, mining industry, I'm just going to buy the stocks of a particular mining industry. Some of them will not try because of the issues with them.
Yes.
And then, for example, Tesla as a company is very, very, very clear on their principle with clean energy and environmental issues. But that is the bedrock of whatever thing that Tesla is doing or Elon Musk himself is doing. Every of his company is all about preserving the environment, preserving the sustainable and renewable energy and all of that.
Energy. Okay.
So they cannot partner with any organization that is abusing or going against that.
Yes.
So all of those things are what we look into before. So once we get the fundamentals of that right, then now I wanted to show you something on this chart. That was why I opened it.
Okay.
Now I didn't pay attention to Tesla until this happened. Let me go to a lower time frame. Now, what we saw here, there was a news around here. This was when Tesla got added to the S&P 500. So what is S&P 500? I'll still talk about all of that. S&P 500 is is more like a group or association of the first 500 companies or the most valuable 500 companies in the world.
Okay.
So if you invest in any of those 500 companies, you cannot lose your money. That's what it means.
Okay.
Or you might not make much profit, but then they are the safe category when it comes to stocks. You obviously cannot do 100% in a year. You might not be able to do 100% in a year, but then you cannot lose more money even if every stock is falling. So now let me now go into let me now go back to the foundation. So when it comes to stocks, we can classify them by two classifications. We can classify them by dividends and growth. We have dividend stocks and we have growth stocks. So what are dividend stocks? Dividend stocks are stocks that the company declare dividends yearly. Some even declare it quarterly. Some even share it monthly.
Okay.
So dividends means that they are paying return on what you have invested in them.
Okay.
So now they can pay. So let's say their stock is $15. Some stock can say they want to pay 50 cents per dollar, 50 cents per stocks. So sometimes the dividends are always very small, especially if you are looking at it in terms of lower stocks. Let's say you have just 10 stocks or 20 or 50 or 100. But then
Okay.
on the long run, it's always massive if you look at it.
Okay.
Now, for people that are looking at, okay, I want to retire, and I am okay. I'm looking at somewhere my money is safe. So if you go to the first 500 companies valuable companies in the world, and you find the dividend stocks there, and you use all your maybe half of your pension money to buy it, you can be sure that okay, if you have some dividends coming for you monthly, that will be valuable.
Yes.
So that's dividend stocks. Growth stocks, this is what growth stocks do. Instead of them paying investors dividends, what they do is that what they declare as profits, they use it to buy their stocks off the market. So that
Okay.
means that instead of you getting dividends in terms of the company paying you dividends, you get more value on your stock because when there is um, more demand, there will be higher, the price will go higher. Do you understand that? Now, so this is what it means. Let's say before they declare profit, they have 100 stocks in the market.
Okay.
And then from their profits, they bought 20 out of it by themselves, the company, and lock it.
Okay.
So the current market now has just 80 shares left. So if the shares was selling at 1 naira per stock before, it will now become we will now have 20% increase on that shares because 20% of that shares have left the market.
Okay. Yes.
So either way, investors are still earning. It's not just the same way.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So what is going to work for individual depends on the goal of individual. So I just gave you an
Mm-hmm.
example of someone that is looking for retirement monthly payment can go for a dividend stocks.
Yes.
But someone that is looking for a long-term valuation for their portfolio might be looking at growth stocks. And even if they go for dividend stocks, they can put a pending order that all dividends go into reinvestment.
Mm.
So it's because, for example, now if you look at Amazon, the business model Amazon use is one of the most valuable in the world today. Now they didn't for a long time they didn't declare profits. They were just reinvesting. And then the people that invested in Amazon early are really enjoying now because for a long time they couldn't really make profit out of the stocks. But then when they started making profit, it was massive.
Hmm.
So that's another way we can look at. That's a way we can look at stocks. Another way we can look at it is to look at it with their market capitalization. So we have let me go to. So we have three types of stocks by capitalization. We have what we call the high cap the high cap stocks. Those are the heavy ones. Those are the Apple, the Amazon, the Google stocks. Those ones are sitting at the top.
Okay.
Now, those ones, you can't just see them go down by 50% or by 20%. It is almost impossible. Just
Hmm.
like their gain is in single digits, their loss is also in single digits.
Okay.
So that's high cap stocks. Then we look at middle cap stocks. Middle cap stocks, now they are the ones that are young and growing organization. Are you listening, sir?
Yes, I'm with you, sir.
So the young and growing organization, these ones too, they might not be able to do 50% in a week or in a day, but they might do up to 100% in a year.
Okay.
They might do that or even more in a year because they still have room to grow.
Mm-hmm.
Because one thing that is general about this whole thing is that the higher you grow, the lesser the room to grow.
Okay.
So Amazon could do 500% in a year 10 years ago. They cannot do that
Hmm.
anymore now. They cannot do 500% in a year
Hmm.
unless they are going to enter a new territory entirely because they are the ones sitting on top of their industry.
Yes.
Nobody,
Yes.
I mean, there's no market share they want to go and take again. They are the
Yes.
one leading the market already.
Yes.
Apple can, I don't know how Apple want to do 500% in a year, unless if they want to enter the market share that Techno and the likes are struggling to manage.
Hmm.
So Google cannot, I don't know how Google wants to do 500% in a year, but we cannot really, when it comes to software, we cannot really cap them. Why? Because they can come out with another software tomorrow that will beat something else, that will create, because one thing about software companies is that they solve the problem that we don't even know exists.
Exactly.
Nobody knew, we never knew we never knew we needed Facebook
Mm-hmm.
until we got it. Now
Yes.
Twitter, now we have Clubhouse again.
Hmm.
Clubhouse is already valued one point something $1 billion as we speak.
Mm-hmm.
And that it has not even started. It is only available to people that are using iPhone, which has cut out a huge market share.
Okay.
So if we have a competitor that comes and say any OS can come on it, you know that they have a competitor like that.
Hmm.
So that's how we look at. So we cannot really cap the software companies. But then, realistically speaking, Facebook, Google, we don't see them doing 500% sharp like that. It's not easy
Mm-hmm.
because if you look at their markets, if you look at their what do we call it, their their market capitalization, we know that it is not easy to get that kind of money to go 5 times up. This is what I'm talking about.
Yes. Yes.
This is Apple. Their market capitalization is 2.2. Microsoft, Amazon, Google, then followed by Tesla. Tesla is valued around 783 billion now. And then everyone above it valued in trillions of dollars. So for Apple to do 5x, so what we are looking at here, which is 2.2 trillion now, has to be in what? Has to turn to above $10 trillion.
Yes.
It is not that it is impossible for that money to come. Now, where it is going to come from is what it's not visible. So instead of looking or hoping for Apple to do 5x, we can see organizations that are still under 1 billion, that they will do 10x or even do 100x, we are not even reach $1 billion in terms of valuation.
Yes.
So that is the kind of gem we are looking at.
Okay.
And that's going to lead me to, the medium stocks, the margin is wide, the space for them is wide. And then the last one is penny stocks. Penny stocks are dangerous, extremely dangerous. I must emphasize that. Why? Because they can make you an instant millionaire. And I'm not talking about Naira. They can make you instant millionaire, and they can wreck you totally. So a penny stock is what you will see today that will do 500x in just a week. They can go from 20 cents to $20 and then fall back almost immediately.
Okay.
So sometimes we call them pump and dump. You just pump them and pump them again. The growth are not sustainable.
Okay.
So we don't really run after those ones. But for someone like me, I tell people that losing money is not the greatest tragedy in investment.
Yes.
The greatest strategy in investment is losing the money you did not plan to lose. That is the greatest tragedy. So so it's not bad if you allocate a portion of your portfolio for penny stocks. So let's say, for example, you have $1,000 to invest. It's not bad to allocate up to $100 or more, or a little more, for penny stocks, knowing that if it goes, it goes.
Yes. It's a game of chance.
But because you know that you are ready to lose that money, then it's no big deal. But let's say you didn't know it is that dangerous, and you put the whole $1,000 there, and tomorrow it has become something else. That's the
High blood
tragedy.
pressure.
That's the tragedy. So the tragedy is not losing money, so to say. It is losing the money you don't plan to lose. So now we've spoken about looking at stocks in terms of capitalization, which is looking at the high cap, the medium cap, the low cap, and then the penny stocks.
The penny stock.
Now, looking at them in terms of growth stocks or dividend stocks. Now, another thing is, now let's not talk about portfolios. Generally speaking, now, most investment guru believe that your portfolio should be balanced. You should have high cap stocks, you should have medium stocks, and you should have low cap stocks. Because high cap stocks bring stability in your portfolio. And then low cap stocks give, which those ones are still have room to grow, will push your portfolio upward. Now, that's what, but I personally don't really love that idea, depending on how much. I believe that depends on how much money you have.
Yes.
If you have $1 million to invest, you can spread it around and have a very balanced portfolio, such that if anything happens in the market, your portfolio is still solid.
Yes.
But if you don't have so much to invest, you don't even have room to scatter your portfolio. You don't have room. Why? If you have just $1,000 to invest and you invested in 10 different stocks or shares, and then two of them are doing 100%, two of them are doing minus 20%. I mean, let's say it's like 5 of them are doing minus 20%. Your portfolio will still be on the same amount. The growth that you are
Yes.
having on the two that are doing 100% will not show. And then God help you if the one that are losing are more than the one that are gaining. So the idea is that once you know that we don't have so much to invest, we take our time to pick what we are buying, and we invest as much as possible in 2 or 3.
Okay.
And go headlong in it.
Okay.
I know it takes discipline to stay in just one project for a long time, or 2 projects or 3 projects for a long time. But that's how real growth is seen. We can now start taking profit from that one when it starts giving us profit, and put into a few other ones, or probably fresh money. Now, for example, people that invested in Amazon in 1991, some of them sold in 1995, some of them sold in 1997. Now, for people that waited 10 years straight, their $1,000 was worth $1.6 million. And then people that waited till now were already billionaires. And all they had to do is just wait. But look at it. What Amazon started 23 years ago,
Yes.
we are just seeing the necessity for it now. It started
Yes.
e-commerce. Now we now know that e-commerce is not a choice. It's not a way. It's not the way to go. After 23
Yes.
years, so it is no surprise that he made all the money he made. He saw where the world was going,
Exactly.
and the people that believe that saw it with him, and and pitched his tent with him, made the money also. Same way some people are already pitching their tent with Elon Musk. Elon Musk being the richest person today is even too early, because most of the products his company are producing are not even accessible to everybody yet. If you're going to look at how many cars Tesla sold last year, and it's not so much now.
Yes. Yes.
So what happened when an average Nigerian can buy Tesla? What happened when a civil servant can save for a year and buy Tesla anywhere in the world? So this guy is probably going to be on his own list, not on Forbes list again, on his own list. So that is the kind of, and then look at it now. He's not only producing electric vehicle, he's working on autonomous vehicles. He's working on electric boats and yachts, electric planes. I mean, he has a lot of things coming on board this year already.
But the fact is that so far it starts to be like, so far he can produce an electric car just to reduce combustion and reduce at least to reduce depleting the ozone layer. That means it's going to look at other transportation system, just like the airplanes and everything, to reduce usage of gasoline.
Exactly. And then the climate is not even the political climate is not really making it easier for him now, since Biden entered. Biden has announced that they are changing all the vehicle that the US government has and own are going to be changed to electric vehicles. And then since Tesla is the major producer in that spare, it's going to take much of the contract, even though other guys are going to, because almost every vehicle producing company in the US now are not producing electric vehicle, except Toyota. Toyota is not in the US anyway, except Toyota. And that Toyota, I just pray that what happened to Nokia will not happen to them, because their CEO is kind of stupid. Now they are in debt. They lost money by taking their investment out of, because they are one of the earliest investors in Tesla actually.
Wow.
They invested in Tesla. They partnered with Tesla. They canceled both a few years ago. They canceled both. Now they don't want to go by electric vehicle. They said they want to go by hydrogen, kinikon. And their lead engineer has already said it, that the hydrogen kinikon, that it cannot compete with electric vehicle in the market. But the CEO is adamant on. So he believed that at the end of the day, it is a company that has variety of products that will win. That's what he believes. So now going back to where I started from, because we are investing for the future, we are looking at industries. And currently speaking, there are some industries we should not even be looking at anymore. One of them is the brick and mortar retail stores. And I know Walmart is big. But if Walmart is not investing huge in e-commerce, in how to get their products to people in their house, it's just a matter of time. We are no longer looking into banking, as it were, in terms of people. Now, even as Nigerians now, I can't remember the last time I walked into a banking hall. That's even in Nigeria, where developments get to at the tail of the decade. Okay, when innovation starts, it is at the end of that decade that we get to Nigeria.
Have you?
Even in Nigeria right now, people no longer go to bank. Banks are now vacating their buildings. Now you can drive past and see Access Bank building that is no longer being used. So it is telling us something. Of course, naturally speaking, in Nigeria anyway, banking is no longer a profitable business anyway.
Yes.
But globally speaking, people no longer visit banking halls. So there's no reason to employ more people now. UBA now has an online robot that can answer all the things you want to do in a banking hall. GT has their own social media, this, and just talking about Nigeria, but on a global scale, on a global scale, the finance has gone beyond the brick and mortar.
Of course.
People want to take charge of their money. And then crypto is gradually taking that space. Now, a few years ago, China fought Bitcoin. They banned crypto miners, ban all of everything bannable. They ban it. Today, they have released that they have gone back on that ban. They are looking for a way to create their own. Some months ago, US did the same thing. They have gone back on it. So we've seen different countries doing that. Now, in 2021, countries are now adopting, either creating their own or adopting one cryptocurrency to bankroll or to be the foundation of their financial system. Tesla now collects Bitcoin for payment for their products.
Wow.
There's a state in US now. Okay, I think it's Texas, that the governor is saying that people can get paid, civil servant though, not can get paid in Bitcoin. They can pay tax in Bitcoin. I mean, the things they normally do with dollars, they are passing it into their law that they cannot do that with Bitcoin. So little by little, money is now becoming going back to a decentralized system.
Yes.
And that's why if you are looking at an holistic form of investment, you cannot take crypto out of it. You might not just go deeply into crypto, but you cannot take crypto out of it, because finance is in the middle of every form of investment.
Of course.
So let's just mention that and drop it. We'll come back to it. Another booming, growing industry is biotech.
Okay.
Now, with the new innovations in biotech, we can now treat sickle cell. So meaning that if that go mainstream, we will not have to see the death of SS patient anymore. Now, if you have the opportunity to invest early in a company that is producing that, wouldn't that be massive profit when they go mainstream?
Of course. Of course.
Now, they are making it impossible for something like Corona to hit us again through biotech.
Yes.
Now, a lot of things are being done in that space. Another industry is this. Now, looking at it, what will I call this one? Let's call it the drone industry, but it's actually gone beyond drone. Because if you mention drone to anybody, the first thing the image you probably get is the image of a small shaped airplane flying above, maybe to take picture or something, right? But then what we currently have in that industry is beyond that. Of course, the first use of drone that we know globally was for warfare. Maybe that was what movie told us anyway. Because the first use of drone that we know was the one that America was using to throw bombs on mounted or unmanned airplanes.
Okay.
But then, if you go back to if you come to what every other industry are using, we know we can use drones to take pictures, to do all of that. But then there's one industry that if drone really gets fully used in that industry, will get massive adoption for it, and that's the e-commerce industry. It's already been done in China during those lockdown. Drones are now delivering goods to people's apartments. And you know,
I saw that video.
Service apartments in China are always very tall buildings. So it's easy for drone to fly to 31st floor and go and deliver
Yeah.
than somebody to be climbing or using lifts up and down.
Mm-hmm.
And then you don't have to hire anybody.
Exactly.
You will be in the office, fly the drone, the drone will carry the product and fly to that place.
Mm.
And it can go as many times as possible. So less man labor.
Yes.
Another thing is anything that is on man, any mechanical tool that is on man and can do some of those services is not classified under drone. So as we are looking at using drones to deliver small product like that, we are also looking at, especially Tesla is in the forefront of this one I want to talk about, unmanned trucks. So those big trucks.
Yes.
They can go from one state to the other unmanned. Robots will load them. Robots will go and deliver it. So all of those things are now being classified under drone. So shuttle, there's a company that is producing unmanned shuttle, and they've partnered with two or three universities in Europe now. So just imagine that. Let me use our OAU for example. How to gate shuttle unmanned. Same route, you can go as many times as possible. It doesn't need anybody to drive it. You just park, people enter. When the last person enter, you press something and then it takes off. So those are the kind of industries we are looking at. And then unfortunately there's none of them that is not motivated by technology.
Yes.
And one funny thing about technology is when you think we have done the impossible, nothing else can come. That's when another huge will come again.
Of course.
So even Facebook, as we speak today, are working on some massive projects. And that's why some people will still always argue that it is still profitable to hold Facebook shares. So I just want to give foundation today so that we will know that there's still a lot. This journey is a journey of both investment and in learning. Even me, I learn daily because some of these things you cannot even understand them regardless of your foundation, except even regardless of your foundation, even if you are in the center of tech yourself, there's an aspect of tech you still don't understand. For example, now I don't understand much of biotech because every time I try to understand the technology behind I've been studying that technology of late behind what they invented that they could heal the sickle cell thing. There's even one that this company produced that could solve any heart disease. They will just implant it in the patient's heart, and then it's able to like plastic. But they just make it. I was trying to understand it, but then when they start talking about the name of proteins and gene and chromosome, and I just told myself, show me the books and the numbers. Those are the things that matter. So at times you might not understand all the basics, but you just need to understand the books, the figures, and the numbers, and then we look at what other investors that we trust are saying about them, and that's how we make our judgments. And then we can now come back to the charts to talk about when to buy them, because there's always a when.
Yes.
There's always a when to buy. Because nobody is happy to see their stocks come down. So you want to
Of
buy
course.
when they are ready to move, or when you
Of course.
think they are sitting on the support. So in the course of the training, we'll still talk about some technical analysis too, which are necessary. I will not go into detail so that you don't get bored with them, because technicalities are really very boring. But the major ones that you need to be able to know when to buy and probably when to sell when you need to sell. So before we complicate things today, do you have any question? So I just put, so we just draw the curtain today.
Okay, yeah. Though, based on the things you've said so far, based on the new technologies coming up, and I also understand that to go into shares or to go into investing in any company, at least there must be a prospect. Must be a prospect, so that it's not something that is already in the system and there's no possibility of growth, just as you have explained. Now, my question, which I believe that we'll probably still talk about it, is that now, how do we determine? Now, we got different types of market capitalization in terms of the high cap, the middle cap, the low cap, and the penny stocks. Yeah, because I understand that there are some shares whereby, just like you said, they'll go up rapidly and all of a sudden they crash. Now, how do we differentiate that, okay, this is a middle cap, this is a penny stock? I understand the one of the high cap, that just as you have explained. We know them by their industry, how they are moving the industry, and probably by their past records from where they are starting from and from where they are. So now, for the middle cap, the penny stock, and the low cap, how can one be able to say, okay, going on to the market, maybe the stock exchange list and everything, and you can say, okay, this is a penny stock.
Okay.
Or this is a low cap, or this is a middle cap.
Okay. Now, in my little experience, what I think differentiates them is their fundamentals. And what do I mean by fundamentals? Why are you buying them?
Okay.
So for me now, after I've done all my research, there are 3 questions I need to ask myself before I put a stock on my portfolio, especially if it's a long-term portfolio. So most times I only share 2. But that third one, most stocks don't make it to that third. I mean, they don't get to tick the third box for most shares I come across. Now, the first question is this. Now, do you have proof of concept? What is proof of concept? What these companies say they are doing, are they already doing it? Do they have working products? Do they have working service? Have they solved the problem they say they want to solve with some samples?
Okay.
So if you say, okay, you want to bring the dead back from life, that's the solution you want to provide. Have you brought at least 5 dead back that people can test? Okay, we saw it. And you can see proof online that, okay, these people said that they saw Lagwaja to bring, brought the dead from the dead, though. They saw it, though. Proof of concept, very important. Or you are just selling us ideas. So that's 1. 2, is this business scalable? Because it's not every idea that is scalable. At best, some ideas are just scientific inventions just to wow us. Nobody's going to invest in them because they don't make market value.
Yes.
Are you following me?
Yes, I am.
Okay. So another one that looks like it is, without any investment coming into this business, without any investment at all, can they sustain themselves with their numbers? And that's why we look at the balance sheets, the books. We are not accountants,
Okay.
but we've learned what to look at here and there. So if those three things are enough, then you might have a solid stocks in your hand. Now, they're not depending on the industry. We've spoken about industries already.
Yes.
So if you now have, if this company now check out those two box, yes. But the third box for me is this: can this company market capitalization hit $1 trillion anytime soon? That is, can it sit down with the likes of Tesla, the likes of Amazon, the likes of Google? Can I imagine it in the next few years? If it's a yes, then you have one of the best stocks in your hands. But if it's a no, it is still a solid stock, but we might do a medium term with it before we sell out.
Okay.
So that's why I said the difference for me is in the fundamentals. Most people that buy steady stocks, they don't do any research. They just probably watch a YouTube video or hear somebody say it or something. Or they see that it has pump and dump before, they to pump again. They just drop money there. So the fundamentals is what, because you never can tell anyway, because something, a company that will become $1 trillion market capitalization, we at first be worth nothing.
Yes.
And the goal is to buy it when it's worth nothing, to buy the future when it's very cheap. So we cannot tell by the price, we can only tell by the valuation, but by the fundamentals.
Yes.
So have I answered your question?
Yeah, very clear now.
Okay, sir.
Very clear. Yeah. Thank you so much.
So, any other one?
Not really. Just a confirmation of some of the things I've said, because just like you said, like if many technologies have gone far in these developed countries, get late to Nigeria, which by then, when they have even moved ahead of the technology, that's when Nigeria starts to use it. Just to confirm the banking system, like you said, even over here, the data wide, you don't even have to go into the bank to deposit your money.
Imagine.
There is a machine which just like ATM, but it's mainly for deposits. You don't need to go to the counter.
Okay.
Just go there, put the money in, put all the necessary buttons you need to put. The machine counts the money, deposit it straight. It will give you a receipt that you have deposited. So that's one. And secondly, many other ones, like the biotechnology you said, a lot of, like I saw a video in China where there was a car going and there was no driver, there was nothing. Not even a steering.
Imagine. They've tested that self-driven car in Lagos before. I saw the video. Yes, now. I don't know the people working behind it. I saw the video. That Motan Pariwo, hey. There was no self-driven car inside Odop in Lagos.
Hey, can you imagine? And in Gototeki Moupe, these things, sometimes when they make advertisement online, we think that these things are impossible. Most especially, there was a time back in Nigeria, there was a time to want Polowo. I was watching match, and they were advertising this. There's this dispensing machine for selling bottled drinks, all these things.
Okay.
That you can just put your coin. You can just put your coin inside it. The thing operates itself and throws your product out. If you're buying Coca-Cola, you just press the button, you put the amount of the Coca-Cola. They would have put everything on the machine. Press the amount, the thing rolls itself, goes straight to where the Coca-Cola is, and drops out.
Okay.
I saw that advert, I think back in 2015. But on getting here now, that's what they are using. You don't need anybody to attend to you in the store. Just get your coins, put it where you're supposed to put the coin, press the button, whatever you're ordering for will just come outside, you pick it up and you go.
In some location in US, Amazon has a walk-in store when you just walk in, pick what you want, and leave. They deduct the money with Alipay in your account.
Imagine.
Just walk in, and then the machine already swipe your card. So people that now, what made that place popular were during this lockdown that people were, busting stores here and there.
Yes.
So people that didn't know that went to the store to go and they were just seeing debit alert.
Correct.
They were just seeing debits. Those are the ones that have Alipay now. The ones that didn't have Alipay, they didn't get debited. But of course, I know everything is in sync in the US. So somehow they will be debited somehow.
Of course.
They will probably be debited somehow because there's something that is linked to something that's linked to something. So they will, but those ones that has Alipay, immediately they were working out. They were being debited immediately. They didn't know the kind of store they worked. They just thought it was a normal store.
And they cannot go and return it.
It was not normal store now. But there was nothing to show them that it was not normal store. No security, nobody to attend to them, nobody to direct them. They just went there. They've seen free stuff. They just took it and left. And they got debited. So imagine a store like that.
So technology is going very, very far. Going really far. So I think, like you said, those are the kind of places they might look into. Those are the kind of stuff that one can look into. And there's one I saw recently, which during my project, my supervisor told me about it. Like this is basically about this scarcity of water in the world. Okay. And the cost of producing a potable water, clean and drinkable water for the whole world, because it's a project that is of great concern for the World Health Organization.
Okay.
So he was telling me about, they call it how do I call it now? It's like a condensation form, like when leaves releases the excess water with them.
Okay.
Like for example, something like dew. When rain falls and it remains on the leaves, even after the rain has stopped and everything is dry, there will still be some small content of water on the leaves. Could you believe that when I was looking through the video, they were using this just small contents of water. They were extracting this water by means of a bottling technology.
Really?
And this is what they are looking into to solve the problem of water scarcity.
Wow.
So a lot of things is going on in the world that we don't know until we make research and see what exactly they are.
That's why I say it's an ongoing journey of knowledge and research.
Exactly. And with this pandemic now, a lot of things is going on because they don't want the kind of thing to also strike again.
Yes.
They don't want the kind of thing to strike again. So they are always on at least whatever form of technology that can be produced to at least reduce all this kind of thing. So they're all there, Sha.
Yes. So it is. So for us to really make money on long term, those are the things one should look at. But the danger of it is there's even between an idea and a business. You need to wait for the idea to be transferred into a business before we can invest.
Yes.
Because the people that can invest in idea are people that are already big, the billionaires. So they don't mind losing their money. Because if they invest in 10 and 9 goes out, the one that goes right will pay them all the money in multiple times. Imagine that it was somebody that gave Tesla 100,000 seed money. How much will the shares be worth in Tesla now?
Wow, it's a co-owner.
Aha, so but then How many Tesla would he have invested in before he met Elon Musk? So, but we
That's
don't have the luxury to invest randomly like that. So that's why we
of
have to
course.
wait for it to become a business that you can see their books are right, and then you
Mm-hmm.
can join them from there.
Mm-hmm.
Because what we are investing is Owoniyo.
Of course.
Sorry for that.
If I walk by lane, if I walk by here, you be
Okay.
I got tap it.
Okay.
You.
So that's it for today. So by
All right,
Thursday,
sir.
we'll go to something else. We'll go into accounts you can open, where to buy what, and all of that, specifically for your location.
Okay. Okay. So well, I'm looking forward.
Okay, sir. My
Yes, sir.
regards to everybody there.
Yeah, what boy? I got Daliru ni ona na video. And everywhere we can't do. Maybe by Thursday I'll be able to. If there's a very good platform, I'll be able to come on video.
Okay, no problem.
All right, sir.